Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. For those of you who are new to our channel, we are a channel of lessons, love, and legacy. Our goal is to help you get from point A to point B, live out your purpose, and leave a good legacy. So thanks so much for tuning in. For those of you that are returning, thanks so much again for rocking with us. It's been a very interesting journey in 2020, but we're so excited that you guys are hanging out with us. So
we are excited to finally kind of take all of our footage, all this whole journey that we've documented, to finally kind of combine it in this video. Really just to, share with you about the 1322 journey and where it all began and our name. I mean, everything. So sit back and just enjoy. So let's first kind of talk about 2020, like the top of 2020. We, Devan and I sat down and we wrote down some goals like this year. I don't think we've ever done that before, but really just had a conversation, a very intentional conversation about, marriage goals, family goals. We knew that, we wanted to grow a family in 2020.
See how the Lord works? You're right in the vision.
So anyway, and like our YouTube channel, we wanted to kind of rebrand this. So those of you who have been with us for a while, we used to be the Legacy Chronicles. Now, rebranding that to Devan and Chaz, with the intention of one day that we are going to kind of tap into other things like, launching an apparel company, a merch line. And we really thought that it was going to be, just going to be like Devan Chaz, the name, whatever. And I'll let Devan kind of get into that. But it was just kind of something that we started talking about at the top of 2020. And since I've known Devan, like, he has always talked about like, oh, one day that I just want to design shirts. I want to make shirts. And also, like we had talked about today too, that did we ever think a year ago that here we would be living in South Dakota, launching 1322. Like it just, and Devan's response was, it was not even on my radar. And it's like, you know what, like we have received, this past week, like two confirmations from like people that don't even know us, know our story, our journey, where we came from. And, that it's like, you know what, this is what God has, purposed you for. This is what you're supposed to do. So we know, and we thank you for just joining us on this journey.
When it comes to the apparel line, and as you saw a couple weeks ago, we released the name and all of that fun stuff when we released our Devan Chaz website. Link here, devanchaz.com. We will put some blogs on the site. I'm also working on an ebook. I digress. But we really started with, we wanted to tack on the apparel or the merch with Devan Chaz initially. That was our initial thought. We're going to, make everything Devan Chaz, but it's like, I don't want people walking around with the shirt that says Devan Chaz on it. And it's like, I don't know. I guess people do it. Sean John or what are others? Sean Carter, like when Jay-Z had his apparel brand out. I don't want people walking around with our names on things per se. But I wanted to create shirts where you are a walking billboard, spreading a message of just hope, love, lessons, and legacy, exactly what our channel is about. So it was just going to be Devan Chaz in the beginning, and we're going to have these Devan Chaz logo made shirts, and it's like, oh, that's kind of corny, in my opinion. If you wear, your stuff, and if you wear other people's stuff and has their name on it, cool. I think that's awesome. But one day I was just sitting in the office, and I just really felt like this is something that's going to be way bigger than us, something that's going to outlast us. And I never wanted to put my name on something and hold on to something so much that it can't grow beyond myself and Chaz or our family. I want something that would be inspirational, something that will bring hope, something that will instill like faith in individuals. And as Chaz mentioned before, this is something that I had written down 8 years ago, 2012. I sat and I wrote a vision, literally, of everything that God had put on my heart from speaking. For those of you that follow us on Facebook, like 4 years ago, I used to do a Motivational Monday video every Monday, which I will be bringing back. So it had speaking because I wanted to be a motivational speaker. I still do. Like, I enjoy talking. Can't you tell? And then part of that was just going to be having some inspirational faith-based apparel. So you saw our first shirt, which was the Legacy. Chaz has on, I am who you say I am, which was our best seller today, but we'll get into that later. But going back to this name, I was sitting in the office and I just felt like, man, this is so much bigger than us. I don't want to limit it to just Devan Chaz, right? So I began to think about legacy. I began to think about, okay, what is something that's going to be transgenerational? What's something that's going to continue to just grow? And even in 2012, when I first saw the verse, Proverbs 13:22, that stuck out to me. And that's been something I've been literally carrying from 2012 up until now. So I started Googling domain names. Like, man, I want to call it Prov 1322. Oh, that's taken. I want to call it 1322. Like, I don't know. But we ended up coming up with 1322. For those of you that follow us on Facebook, you wanted to know what was in the box. The beanies. Yes. But yeah, so that's pretty much how we came up with the name, and we were working with our designer at the time, and I just came out to Chaz. I'm like, Chaz, this is what I think we need to do, how we're going to move into this space. So we're going to call it 1322 and not just Devan Chaz.
Yeah. And like, speaking of just, designer. So, I mean, we worked with a graphic designer through this whole kind of rebranding thing. And it's like, that's something that I just like did not realize, that it's like, it truly is a process. And she was, throwing out terms like, we have our main logo, and then it's like there's like a sub logo. That it was like, okay, I don't know. Like, I thought just logo is logo. And then she was asking us about like fonts and whatever, and it's like, well, I don't know. Like, fonts are fonts. And so, she's like, well, you want me to put together some fonts that I maybe think look good, and that would go with your brand, and we can kind of visit that, but. So it's like we were just in the very beginning stages of kind of our rebranding, designing process, if you want to call it, for Devan Chaz, when we kind of threw in this curveball of like, this is not going to be, Devan Chaz. Like, we need a whole other logo, like this 1322. So we were early on enough where, we weren't knee deep in the process to be able to kind of make that adjustment and make the changes necessary to really execute all of this needed for 1322. So we are just so grateful. And that took longer than expected, but like, there are graphic designers out there for a reason, because it's like, that's just not our expertise. And so, Devan could have probably, figured out and whipped together, a website, but it's like, okay, well, that's taking away from our purpose, like what we're supposed to be doing. Yeah.
So on the flip side of everything, man, like, I didn't realize how daunting, but fun this was, man. So we found a local printer, and we were talking with them, and I realized that, they were a bit limited on some of the things that we wanted. We really wanted to produce quality apparel for people. So I did, they were a little bit limited, but it's, not knocking their business. They do a phenomenal job here locally. But we ended up finding a printer an hour away. So our initial like conversations with them over the phone, it was like, man, I really like what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
We want to come and we want to visit. We want to tour your location. We want to see, all that you can do for us, and how we can have a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
So we went there and we started talking and just talking, about the present and the future and what's to come. And they're able to provide for us everything that we needed, but. Yeah. Because of what's happening within our world, like there was some shirt shortages because a lot of the vendors they sort of stopped making shirts, like plain shirts, and focused on making masks, which I think that's phenomenal. And we thought it was just going to throw a wrench into everything that we're doing, and it's like, man, this is a monkey wrench, but this is something that we can overcome. So in God's faithfulness, man, we've been able to just overcome a lot of some of the hurdles that we thought that we were going to have to face. And to be honest, this should have been launched in August, September time, around August, September. But it just wasn't the right timing of things. And we're so grateful for that, because we were still building furniture too and just getting our house in order. So it was just really cool to see like the hand of God on not just us, but on our business, and just really connecting us with the right people who are in our corner. A lot of great feedback, a lot of great, what am I trying to say? A lot of great feedback, a lot of great pointers, even from, our printer.
Yeah. So, as you guys know, we had our first pop-up shop today, and that was super fun. And so we'll kind of show you some footage from the pop-up shop today, and some of the businesses that were along the ride with us. And so their information will be in the description. So you guys do want to take the time to
for sure
go and follow them, like them, look on their websites, whatever, because there's a lot of even if you're not from South Dakota, like there's a lot of really great businesses that were with us today. So check them out. They're in the description. So without further ado, like, we are super, super, super excited to finally say that you can go on to
dun, 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 dun. We're not gonna do a drum roll.
That you can go on to 1322.co.
Not com. Drop the M, just put co. You'll see our website. We've been working very hard on this and making sure all of the images, all of our images are ours. We had people come over and take photos for us. And the way that all of this has come to be is just such a God thing. And the connections that we've made, like we looked around and we realized that all of the friends that we've made here are business owners in some capacity. And that, call it coincidence, but I believe that was intentional. God has really surrounded us with people who have definitely like contributed to our success. And even in today's, are you about to cry? Oh my God. Even in today's pop-up event, man, like I was nervous but hopeful, because I knew that I was going, I was walking in purpose, doing things in purpose. I'm like, man, well, if anyone doesn't buy it, and it wasn't a pessimistic thought. It was just, I know and I understand that we are a new brand, and people would have to really understand our why before they make a purchase, right? Like, you can go into a store and just pick up any random thing. But when it comes to like when you're building we would consider us a micro brand. Like, we're not as big as some of the big names, but as we're growing and building, like, we want people to understand not just, hey, this is just a shirt that you can just wear, or this is just a beanie that you can wear, but this is a message that you're telling the world. Like, I am involved heavily in my purpose with the intention on leaving something for generations to come. Everything that I'm doing is going to be so beyond me, beyond my family. I was there, and then all of a sudden people started coming, looking at our stuff, buying our stuff, and I'm like, man, this is awesome. We're the new kids on the block, local as it relates to the local level. Like we're the new kids on the block, and it was really cool to be because we're kind of YouTube famous in our town. We actually had a lady, Debbie, walk up on us, and she's like, "Oh man, like
Debbie, if you're watching this, thank you so much, seriously, for stopping us.
Yeah,
for pulling over and stopping us.
Yeah, so it was just cool just to sort of interact with people who watch our content and who think that, you know, what we have is something worth sharing and our message. There's certainly, you know, more that we're going to have coming for you guys that just relates to marriage and like, how do we build this business? I want you who are watching right now, and this video is probably going to be a long one because I have a message to preach. But anyway, I want you who's watching this video and you've thought about starting a business or you're just having worries or fears, I want this to be a message of just hope, a message of confirmation. I want this to be a message that lets you know, like, hey, walk in purpose, move with intentionality, because you only have one life. And this is not a motivational, like one of those situations, but it's true. You only have one life, and you have to think about what it is that you're going to contribute as it relates to the gifts that God has put in you. What are you going to contribute as it relates to your purpose? And I have a saying, and I say that you are a rare gift. And what makes you so rare is the fact that you're the only one that can do it the way that you do it. You know, that can live out the purpose the way that you live out purpose. And I like this verse in the Bible, and it says that we have these treasures hidden in earthen vessels. We, being made of dust, right, are earthen vessels, and inside of us are these hidden treasures that we have to come to the realization of at some point. We have to realize that there's something so much more than what we see. There's so much more than what we're doing. And I mean, I'm telling you, once you hit that place of flow, you know, not saying that there are not going to be obstacles, or not saying that you're going to not be overwhelmed. You're not going to get discouraged. Because there was a point, and just in all transparency, where we, you know, when we did the Devan and Chaz website, when we got all of this merch, where it's like, now who's going to buy all of this? You know, it's a moment where you're literally stepping from ideation, creation, and now you're going into like full manifestation, right? So it's like, okay, we're here. And that's when you really step into the unknown, and you have to believe that what you're doing is going to make an impact. And I'm talking a lot, and Chaz isn't, but I just really wanted to talk to those who are wanting to start a business, who want to, not even just a business, but if you want to feed the homeless, or if you want to open a shelter, any idea that you have that is really pulling you and drawing you, I want you to move with that. I have another saying, move when you're inspired. There's moments of inspiration. There's moments of inspiration that you have, and it's fleeting sometimes, because it's, you know, when that inspiration or that motivation comes and we ignore it, it's like, how can we find that again? There are a lot of things that I've started and stopped, like Motivational Mondays, that really helped a lot of people. And some of those videos almost went viral, I guess. But, you know, that's something that...
They're coming back.
Yeah, they're coming back. So stay tuned. But
they're coming back.
But yeah, so this could be considered a motivational Sunday, because today's Sunday. Well, it's Saturday, but it'll be released on Sunday. And if it's not released on Sunday, slap our hand, because whatever. I just really feel this, like, I want people to really move. And there's nothing like seeing people operate in their purpose. It really gets me excited.
And succeed. And win. Like, I think that was the cool thing, because it's like, I mean, the exception of Haven and Bloom, they all, you know, started this year. And so it's like, I'm not for sure if it was all, you know, everybody's first pop-up, but it's, I know for a fact, two other businesses where this was essentially their first pop-up, and it's like,
including ours.
So you know, we're all in the same boat together, but it's really cool to see people win, and, you know, for people to, you know, get excited, whatever, and even like, you know, people coming up to us and like, oh yeah, I saw this on Facebook. Oh yeah, yep, I want this shirt. Yep, this is the one I saw. Yep, I want it. You know, kind of a thing. So it means a lot to us because, you know, these aren't just designs. I am who you say I am isn't just like some, you know, saying on a shirt. Like, there's a message, like, you know, Devan said, you know, you are essentially a walking, you know, billboard. You are, you know, walking in purpose with, you know, this shirt on, or, you know, maybe a hoodie or whatever, with I am who you say I am. So thank you for just journeying with us, and your patience, as we've said, oh, you know, things coming soon, things coming soon, things coming soon. And it's like, you guys, you know, now get to finally see like all that, you know, we've been working on and building and whatnot. So we will make sure that our 1322 merch is soon, and very soon will be built in on, so you can just see it under our videos. Yes. And, you know, not have to, you know, click it elsewhere or whatever. So, but for now, go to 1322.co.
Go right now.
And
right now. Just kidding.
Yeah. And so if you're new to our channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, thumbs up, show us some love, you guys. Like, let's hear, you know, we want some feedback. Like, what do you think of our cool beanies? There's with legacy and without, you know, legacy.
It just has the 1322 logo on it.
The 1322 logo. You know, I am who you say I am. The LGCY, like all of that. What do you guys think of the designs or our website or whatever? So we want to hear from you.
Yes.
So, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for watching, and and we will see you guys
in the next video. Peace.